So, before we get started, I have a screen up that I'm going to be showing you a presentation, a PowerPoint from Etsy. So, this is the Etsy's presentation that I'm going to be presenting on. Um, Please do not take screenshots of this presentation while I'm talking. If you want the presentation, you can message me here on the stream. You can also message my Etsy page with your email address, and then I will email it to you. I will also put my email address in this chat, and then I will email you the presentation so you can just take notes and don't worry about trying to take screenshots of your screen. So, um, let's see. If anybody's having problems with the video, use the chat. I see some people saying the quality is not that good. We're going to wait 1 minute before we get started live. I can see your chat message. So if you want to use the chat, hello from Florida, from New York. Let's see what else. West Virginia. I love it. Thank you for saying hello. Maryland, nice. We had some people early on in class all the way from Germany. So a lot from Canada. So as we go through this class today, this class is really good for people that already have an Etsy shop open. Your shop is open, you have some listings, but you want to convert. You want more cha-chings. That's what this class is. This is really a deep dive. So if I say some stuff that you may not understand, if you're a new seller, write down those questions, and then you can email me, reach out and ask those questions, because I am going to be talking more for those experienced sellers. So let's get started. It's 7 o'clock. We're going to go with it. So here we go. Our class today is all about Etsy search and Google search, bringing those cha-chings in. I am Nicole. I own Partying with Plants on Etsy. I sell terrariums and fairy gardens. So if you can see my background, I do virtual plant classes. So I have been partnering with Etsy headquarters since 2019, teaching Etsy U classes because I love meeting other Etsy sellers, entrepreneurs, helping each other. So that's why I'm here. I started Etsy in 2017. It is now my full-time job. I was able in 2020 to build a studio / warehouse where I process all my orders, but it took a lot of time to get there. So let's get started. We're going to talk a lot in this presentation about how Etsy search works, how that algorithm works. How do those listings show up on page 1 and page 2? Because that's where we all want to be, right? Yes. And how does Google work for Etsy shops? Okay, so an important note from Etsy, Etsy search is always changing. The information I'm sharing today is the most current, up-to-date information. Always watch the handbook, watch your dashboard. If new stuff comes out, they will tell us in the handbook. Okay, so an overview, Etsy search is a powerful tool designed to match buyers with items they're looking to buy, making it easy for them to purchase. Etsy is a business. It's just like every other business out there. When they've got a buyer on their site, they want to convert that buyer into a customer. These two phrases of how Etsy works is called query matching and ranking. So in this presentation, we're going to cover both of those and give you SEO tips. Okay, so we're first going to talk about just Etsy. When a customer is on Etsy and they're in that search bar, typing a product that they are looking for, let's talk about query matching and ranking. So query matching is when a buyer enters a search query on Etsy, the system looks at keywords that you've added to your listings to find a match. So what are those keywords and where do you add them? People shop on Etsy because they know they're going to find something special. So they type in these keywords looking for those unique products. Those keywords are being looked at in your titles, your tag, category and attributes that you set for your listing, and any subcategories. So if I'm a buyer and I type in American flag dog collar, the Etsy query is going to look at what listings have American flag dog collar in the listing title, maybe in their tags, and if it's relevant to the category, subcategories, or attributes. But it's going to be looking at those titles first. Okay. We're going to talk a lot about titles in here because that's the number one prime piece of real estate is your titles. Designing and making titles that have all the keywords that describe your listing to the best that somebody else would be using that exact keywords to find that item that you sell. Okay. Ranking. How does ranking work? Once Etsy algorithm has gathered all the listings that match that buyer's query, then they use the information about each listing and shop to rank the listing so people browsing on Etsy see the items that they are most likely to purchase early in the results. They want to capture that buyer on page 1 or 2. By the time we all do it when we're scrolling on our phones, by the time we get to page 4 and 5, if we haven't found what we're looking for, most likely we're going to go to a different website and, shop somewhere else. So they want to capture those purchases early in the results. So these are the factors that go on how your listing gets ranked. Is it relevant? What's the translation language? Does it match? What is your listing quality score? The recency, customer and market experience score, your shipping price, and shoppers' habits. Okay, so these are really a lot of information. So relevancy has to do with how relevant does your listing match the title, the tag, and the categories, those keywords. Translation and language is just where you want to make sure that your language in your settings is set to the language that you are using for all your listings. So for the United States, as long as you have English, it's translating fine. For other countries, make sure that you're setting your translations and language, and then just use that language in your listing titles and tags. Don't try to change up and use multiple languages. Okay, listing quality score. What is this? Etsy looks at clues from shoppers to determine whether a listing is appealing and meets their expectations once it's clicked. What's important here is how well a listing converts. So when somebody comes across your listing in the search results, did they click on it and open it up? After that, did they favorite and give it a heart? Did they add it to the shopping cart? Did they purchase it? If they did any one of those little steps, that's all recorded in the listing quality score. Okay. So you want to create listings that people, number one, will click on and then favorite. Even if they don't buy it right away, your listing got clicked on. They gave it a heart. They liked it. Maybe they saved it in their shopping cart for another time. But the fact is that you're getting a good score right there because you're getting traffic to that listing. Okay. Now, if you're getting favorites, maybe you're getting clicks, but you're never getting any purchases, they're not checking out, you're not getting that cha-ching, that tells you right there that something is catching your buyer's attention from the title and your first picture, because we know they see it and they click on it. What's happening that they're not purchasing it once they opened up the listing and looked at all of your pictures and read your description? This is a hard thing to kind of criticize and look at your listings. I've had to do it. I've had a lot of listings that I'm like, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to sell a lot. People are clicking on it and I'm not getting any cha-chings. What's going on? It's heartbreaking. Why don't they want to buy my item? Maybe I had bad pictures. There was an item on my shop that I knew was a great price. I knew it was a great item. When people actually did buy it, I got good reviews, but I wasn't nearly getting the amount of orders that I should have based on traffic to other listings. So after about a year of so-so sales, I completely did all new pictures. I didn't change the description. I didn't change what I offered. The product was the same. I did all new pictures. After a year of that new listing that had new pictures, it was my number one listing. So last year, it was unbelievable on how much changing all 10 pictures, revamping that listing because I was getting the traffic, made a big difference. Okay, so we talked about listing quality score, recency. When a new listing is created, it gets a small temporary boost in the search results. So Etsy search, the Etsy algorithm, can learn more about how buyers interact and then determine the quality score. So all of your listings are getting a little boost. How is it doing? Are people opening it? Are they clicking on it and giving it a favorite? This is where I could kind of tell that if I make a new listing, within 60 days, if I haven't gotten a sale, I'm not getting any kind of favorites, clicks on it, something's wrong, I've got to change it up. Because now Etsy algorithm, the Etsy quality score has also figured out nobody's favoring it, nobody's buying it. It's not showing up on the top search anymore. It's down probably in page 10. It's not going to sell. Etsy knows it. I need to face reality, change up that listing and rework it and see what I can do. So I kind of give listings, 30, 60 days. You definitely want to at least wait 30 days before you change a listing because you've got to give the system time for it to pop up and see how it reacts. Okay, customer and market experience score all has to do with great reviews and your policies. We're going to talk more about that. Shipping price, we'll talk more about that. And shoppers' habits, all comes across based on the measure of success, and how many people, when they click on your item, do they buy it? Do they favor it? Or do they just leave without doing anything? If you guys do have questions, I can see the chat. So you're welcome to pop in some questions and I'll get through them as we go along. In this live class, you have the benefit. If you're live with me now, you can ask a question and I will answer it live. Okay, so we're going to go even deeper. Optimizing your listings for Etsy search. Okay, so relevance and keywords. We're going to go through each little section. During the query matching, your keywords are scanned for matches. Once the system has gathered all those eligible listings, that's what is shown. Relevancy means how close a match your keywords to what the buyer is searching for. So use words and phrases you think buyers would type into a search when shopping for an item like yours. This is very important. Hopefully, you have all kind of been secret shoppers and you've gone to Google, you've gone other places, and you've typed in keywords or pretending like you want to buy the item that you sell. You've done some research, you've been that secret shopper, and you can see what other keywords describe your item, what other companies are using, or what other sellers are using. Place the most influential phrases at the front of your title. So whatever keywords describe your item, your listing, to a T, that should be what you put in the front. Okay. Use all 13 tags available. Include a variety of specific, descriptive keywords and phrases. I have lots of examples for you. I have some slides to show you. There's no need to add both plural and singular versions of a word in your titles. Apply all relevant attributes and categories to your listings if you can. Some things out there that people sell, you can't attach an attribute to it. So an attribute would be like if you sold clothing, that's a certain color. You can put in the color or you can put in the pattern. Categories, I always like to mention that holiday time, people, especially at Christmas, everything we all sell on Etsy are all Christmas gifts, right? Everything can make a good Christmas gift. So everybody goes and they put in Christmas as their category. Well, if your item is not a Christmas specific item, it really shouldn't go in that Christmas category. So if you're selling an antique Christmas ornament, then that's a Christmas category. My fairy gardens make great Christmas gifts, but it's not a Christmas category. So people think that if they attach all these categories, it's going to make their item relevant. Well, really, it's not. It's going to hurt you in that algorithm. So stick just to making sure your keywords and your phrases. If your item and your listing is a perfect Christmas gift for him, a lot of people use a tag where it's gift for him or gift for her, sister gift. That would be where you'd want to use a tag in your listing for those type of gifty type items. So somebody has a live question come in. Are the first tags more important than the last tags? So no, all 13 tags have the same equivalent. You just want to make sure you use all 13. So those are just randomly being used in the search. So it doesn't matter what you enter first. Good question. Let's see. If you're joining late or joining from another country and you don't want to watch me live, you can come back to this and watch it again. It's going to be on YouTube forever. Okay, so I want to show you a listing that has some titles. We're going to work on a title. So here's a listing that shows a really nice dog Christmas mask. So we all know a couple years ago, these masks were selling like hotcakes on Etsy. So this mask right here, I want you to notice underneath where I've blocked out the seller's name, their title for this product is Christmas Dogs. This title right here is what would not be a good title for the Etsy search algorithm. It's too short. It doesn't say mask as a keyword anywhere. Unless somebody is going on Etsy to buy a Christmas dog, this is what they're going to see. And you can't sell dogs on Etsy. So this next title shows you an example of a better title to use. So starting out with that first phrase says, Merry Christmas face mask. That's the most important phrase with the keywords right there. Okay, so that's the first. Then you see Xmas mask, funny face mask, best-selling mask, Santa, snowman, gingerbread, blah, 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 and it goes on. But you see how long that title is compared to the first title. Okay, big difference. Your titles are the most important part. Whenever somebody, asks me to kind of review their listings or take a look at their shop, the first thing I look at, I just scan all their titles. And I could tell right away whose titles are short, not descriptive, not using good keywords, then it usually will reflect on the sales. So let's keep talking about holiday time. Is a really popular time on Etsy. So sometimes there's different kind of funky wording out there around holiday. So here's one that says Friendsgiving gift. So a lot of people don't know at Thanksgiving time, there's actually a lot of people who shop for Friendsgiving gifts, where they gift their friend something at Thanksgiving. It's something that I came across a couple years ago and started listing Friendsgiving gifts. So you can see this one in the background is one of my listings. So you can see how long that title is. And then I found another bestseller, this Friends cup. And you can see kind of how our titles are a little bit similar in some of the keywords that we use. So if we're looking at this Friendsgiving wine glass, I get a lot of questions on, do I repeat the tags with the same type of keywords used in the title? And no, you should not. Tags is just another avenue for those keywords that you probably can't fit in your title, so you should use them in your tags. So if you find a bestseller item, when you scroll all the way down the page, this is what you're going to see. It says explore related searches. Okay, so it says Friends TV show fan, Friends TV show, Friends wine glass, Friends TV show. And as all these little bubbles keep going on, these are the tags that this item has probably used in other similar items. So this gives you some ideas of what type of tags to use if you have a Friendsgiving item or a Friends item. So let's say that you're selling, a candle and you're just not sure what type of tags to use. Well, do your research. Find some of those bestseller candles out there. Scroll down and see what tags are they using. What is other related searches on Etsy? Could probably tell you you're going to see gift for her is a really popular one. But you may get some keywords and phrases you never even realized. Then down here it says explore related categories and searches. And it says home living, kitchen dining, drink and barware, wine glass. So this is kind of the category that it's in. You can kind of see how it's been broken down as categories. Okay. Do your secret shopping. Start a notebook. Kind of write down your item and write down other keywords. I even go to Pinterest a lot and we'll type in some keywords and see what else comes up. Okay. These websites know what words are popular for search. Okay. Let's see. I see somebody has said I've been looking at star sellers to get ideas for titles, etc. Absolutely. So the title should be as long as possible. Yes. Use all that you can, fit it in there. I don't know if I mentioned or not. If you notice like this Merry Christmas one with all those individual phrases that they have, they've separated them with a comma. So after every phrase, use a comma. Etsy came out a couple years ago and said they recommend the comma because it's easier for their search algorithm. You will see some, I use commas, but you will see some bestsellers. Like this one, I wanted to show you some of these other good titles. They use like a line or a slash mark. And these items are still getting found. It's really up to your preference. I stick with the commas just because that's what Etsy has recommended. So here's some other good titles because we have Mother's Day and Father's Day coming up. Mother's Day is now a little late. If you don't have those listings on there, start focusing on Father's Day. Because Etsy is a great place to find unique gifts for men. So you can see in this bottom listing for these glasses, the title is Custom Text Whiskey Glass, Personalized Engraved Whiskey Glass, Birthday Gift for Him, Husband, Boyfriend, Father, and Bourbon Lovers. That's a really good title. So even though the title doesn't mention Father's Day, when I went on Etsy, I just typed in custom Father's Day gift, and this came up. And it probably came up because they had Father's Day gift or Father's gift as a tag. So it's still acting as, it's still showing up for them. So a lot of times I will go into my listings and leave the titles alone. I don't change the titles. But if a holiday is coming up and I know my item is good for a holiday, I'll change that tag. I'll add in Father's Day gift, teacher gift, and start adding some of those tags that are relevant to the season or the holiday. Let's see. Somebody said, are phrases better than single words? Yes, if you can do a phrase, kind of break it up maybe even. But definitely the beginning of your listing title should be a phrase. All of my listings, I use phrases for all of them. And then I put a lot of just those single keywords down in the tags. And if I could fit a phrase in the tag, I'll use that as well. Okay. Let's see. Oh, is it according to those titles? Is it good to add boyfriend, husband, etc.? Yeah, Absolutely, because you got to think about what people are searching for. So this one listing has husband, boyfriend, father all in it. And same for the mom. It has mom, Mother's Day, and they even put mama. So they've kind of broken it up to cover all bases. Okay. I see some of you are saying that you're editing your listings while you're watching. Great. While you're doing that, kind of make a note. I do I'll print out like a screen view of all my listings, print that out, write today's date, right underneath it what you changed your title to. And that way you can kind of gauge 30 days from now, okay, this must be working. These are the ones I changed. These are the ones I didn't change. Let me go back, change up some other ones. So you keep yourself organized. How long before the holidays should we change the word phrases to it? I do it every 30 days. So I try to do 30 days beforehand, because you'll have people that will start pre-orders and kind of pre-shopping. I've been sending Mother's Day gifts out all month. Since the beginning of the month, I've had people that I could tell are doing Mother's Day because, they're putting in little gift messages with their order at least 30 days. But I'll tell you, I have Halloween listings up that still sell all year round. I don't know what it is with Halloween. Sometimes people will buy that stuff. So I keep my Halloween listings up all year and just let it sell whenever. Okay. So I see all your questions coming through. These are awesome. Keep asking them. I'm going to move on, but I'm going to come back to some more questions. Okay. So this is the wine, the whiskey glasses that we looked at. This is when we scroll down to his listing and look at his tags. Really interesting tags. Gifts for husband, gifts for dad, bourbon glass, old-fashioned glass, low ball glass, men's birthday gift, gift for boyfriend. So all of some really good tags. Then you can kind of see the category too that is listed in. Okay, so these are some really good workshops that Etsy has given us instructors. When you email me, and if you want today's PowerPoint presentation emailed to you so you can save it and really look back. If you also want these worksheets, I'll send you these worksheets. It helps you kind of break down each of your listings, keep your notes organized. The target market worksheet is great for those new items that you may be adding to your shop that you're just not sure. Do some research and kind of see what you come up with. Okay, listing quality. So once the query matching concludes, it's time to rank and determine a listing's placement on Etsy search. A variety of factors come into play. Listing quality, or how well a listing performs in a search query, is known as the conversion rate. So the listing quality looks at how well a listing converts. How many people viewed it? So a view is when they actually see it in the search. They saw it. Did they click on it? Did they favorite it? Did they add it to the cart? All those little steps are being recorded. So that's how it's determined that if your listing gets ranked high or not. When buyers click and engage with a listing from search, that listing then will rank higher in search results for that query. So this is where if your listing is not performing 30, 60 days, you got to change something up. Okay. Here's some pro tips. To create listings that convert, we want to use engaging photos. That first photo is what grabs the person's attention, gets them to click on your listing. It's so important. Use a readable, easy to understand title. that makes it clear what you're selling. Write short but informative descriptions. Do not write an essay. When I'm shopping on Etsy, when I'm looking, I read like the first 3 sentences. I'm looking for if there's dimensions of the item, specific stuff. I don't want to read paragraphs. With my listings, I list a lot of my listings through the mobile app. So I'll actually use like emojis and stuff to separate my paragraphs. I'll use a little shipping emoji to talk about, it's free and fast shipping. So I'll add in little things like that in my description so it's quick and easy to read. Short, informative descriptions. Think strategically about your pricing and your promotions. Pricing. I always tell people when they ask me, to look at their shop, or I talk to friends that say, oh, I had an Etsy shop and I didn't make any money, so I closed it. Well, did you charge enough? I know myself personally, a couple years ago, I was not charging enough. I thought I had to give everybody a good deal, but I wasn't paying the bills, and I needed this to be a full-time job. Don't be afraid to charge for what your item is worth. Don't be afraid. Get great reviews. We'll talk about that. Let's see. Etsy, some more tips to increase your conversion rate. Those click-worthy photos show your product off in the best possible light. So yes, that first photo grabs their attention, gets them to open up your listing, but how's the rest of your photos? Okay. Let's see. Somebody says, first photo, is it better to have a clean white background or use items as a prop with it? So it all depends what you're selling. This is where, okay, so maybe you're not sure, you have a good item and you're not sure which photo best shows off that item. Well, a lot of my listings, I will duplicate listings. So I take one item, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's say I sell this cup. I'm going to duplicate this listing. The first listing will have maybe a cup in a white background with a title and some tags and, a category about cups. When I list this again for the second time and duplicate it, I'm going to change that first picture. Maybe I'm going to show a group photo where it's 4 cups in one photo. So it gives that buyer like, oh, I could choose those different colors of cups. I'm going to use a different title and different tags. Then you can compare which listing is doing better. I've done that a lot. If you look at my shop, you're going to see it's a lot of items that look exactly the same. Different pictures, different titles, different categories, different tags. And that way I can tell, which one is doing better. So a lot of people do recommend the white background with their photos. I know if you list on other sites, that's all they require. If you can use the white background, it's recommended. I always recommend that use a light box, or at Michael's Craft Store, they sell those big poster boards that are like photo props. It's like $2.99. So I will buy the one that looks like fake white wood. So that big fake white wood, I'll use that poster board and set my items on there, and then do pictures from that, outside or whatever. But yeah, try to have nice, clean backgrounds. Photo tent. A lot of people are saying photo tent. Communicate your processing time. So if you say it takes 1 to 2 days to process and ship out, you better have your items shipped out by day 2. You do not want to have your items past due. Once it's overdue and you haven't shipped it out, that's all affecting your score. Okay. Offer free and competitive shipping. Everybody wants free shipping. Fill out your shop policies. share your story via about section. We're going to get more into this, but those shop policies and that about section better be done. So use your stats to measure your success. Stats make it easy to understand what's performing well in your shop and what listings may need some work. Look at what keywords are driving the most traffic to your listings. You may be surprised, but it's good to know what keywords are working. That way you know, should I be using these keywords in other listings? Consider why your top performing listings are your top performers. Review things like the keywords, the photos, your price, your description. I'll take my top performing listings and just kind of duplicate that. Make sure my photos are exactly like the other one that's performing well. My title is similar because it's working. Be sure to look at longer time frames when analyzing your statistics. So at least 30 days, because it takes time for the stats and the Etsy algorithm to really be collecting that data. Don't list something and change it within 2 days because you didn't even give it a chance. Okay, so I wanted to show you my personal stats. So right here it shows Etsy brought 80% of visits. So the Etsy app and other pages, so people are searching on the app. Etsy search is when they're actually just going to the site and typing in keywords and they're finding just from a generic search. Etsy marketing and SEO. This is where Etsy maybe when they're spending the marketing dollars. I had one of my items get shared on one of the social media platforms. So that really kind of gave it a boost. But you also have to be driving traffic to your store. That direct and other traffic is if you're using your link. You're emailing it out in an email blast, or you're posting your link in your Instagram profile, and people can click right on the link and it takes it right to your Etsy shop. For social media, find which platform works best for you that drives you traffic. Pinterest is what drives well for me. I don't really use Facebook or Instagram. I created a business Pinterest page. If you want to learn more about Pinterest and social media, Etsy U is going to be offering some great classes about social media. And I'll be offering one of those soon as well. So I wanted to show you, I get a lot of questions about Pinterest as a business page. So I wanted to show you what it looks like. I created just a business page on Pinterest, so it's separate. It's kind of like you have a Facebook personal and a Facebook business. It's separate. With my page, I average about 19,000 monthly views. Now, Pinterest is good for people that are looking for gift ideas, activities for kids, a lot of stuff like that. If you have an item that would do good on Pinterest, it would probably benefit you to create a Pinterest page. I use an app called Tailwind. You can see the link there it does all my pinning for me. So I'll go in and schedule a whole month worth of pictures. Everything on Pinterest links back to my Etsy page. Every listing, every picture, somebody clicks on it, they're immediately taken to my Etsy shop. So that's why you probably saw that my stats are really high for Pinterest. So find that social media platform that works better for you. So when you're looking at your listings, Etsy says this is a great time to do a 10-minute listing review, and they show you kind of here to look at your title, look at your tags, look at that first image, and look at your description. So let's just keep on going. Let's see, we got a question here. I'm going to answer some of these questions. Is it better to offer free shipping and roll that into the price? Yes. Buyers like to see that one fee. We've all been kind of conditioned over the last couple years for that free shipping. So yes, I would offer that all in. My SEO has been about 8 or 9 for 2 years. Is that normal? Not sure what you mean by that. Let me know more details on that. Let's see. Okay, keep doing your questions. Oh, how do you use the materials tags? Do those impact Etsy search? No. So when you go in and you say what's your product, what materials are made, or it's part of, it has no relation to the search. Does not at all. Does the seller store make any difference? I have it since the beginning, but don't see difference. So, that's a really good question on this store seller. Etsy has said that, yes, it's going to make a difference. I don't know yet, how much of a difference it has. I've had it too. I haven't really noticed a big increase, but that's kind of wait to be determined. There will be a class all about star seller soon coming out. Okay, let's keep going. I see some really good questions. Keep doing them. Etsy search pro tips. Get good reviews. When you're selling, sending out a product, sending out something that somebody bought, put a little note in there, would appreciate a 5-star review. If you have any questions about your purchase, please reach out, to me personally. I kind of have these postcards printed. Every order gets a postcard, has my picture. I want them to see, the small business that they are supporting, feel connected to me. I tell them about my story while I'm thanking them for shopping and asking them to give me a 5-star review, showing them what other products I have, hoping that they will come back. It helps getting reviews, doing little things like this. So complete your about section. Make sure that is done, and your shop policies. If you have an incomplete about section and your policies are not done and set, that is affecting your listing quality score. It's something so small and so easy to do. Okay, if a case is filed against your shop, communicate, handle that right away. You don't really want a problem to escalate to a case. Create your own original content to avoid intellectual property. Very important. Let's see. We had another question come up. Free shipping supposedly helps get your listings higher in the search. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Oh, good. Somebody said I noticed a big difference in traffic and sales when I became a star seller. So great. That's awesome. Any advice for digital product sellers versus physical product? No, it's completely two, different kind of markets, but still the same thing. You still want to make sure that your titles and your tags are still good, still have really good product description. Description really I buy a lot of digital products. They use the pictures. They can create, like Canva images to describe about the digital product that you're buying. Just really be as descriptive as possible. Okay, let's see. Let's keep on going. So let's talk about. So let's see. We do have a question that came up. It says, how do you figure out your listing quality score? You're not going to be able to figure that out. It's something internally. It's that algorithm that you don't know, but you're going to be able to tell if an item has a good score or not based on if it's getting any favorites and if it's getting purchased. If you have an item that is not selling, pretty much tells you right there it does not have a good listing quality score, and it's time to improve that listing. See, another question, what do you spend on advertising each month with Etsy? Good question. So as we talk about Google search, I used to spend money on Google ads and Google search and spent a lot of money, and it did not pan out. I was really happy when Etsy started doing the marketing, for all of us, and our products were starting to be shown on Google. Under Etsy ads, I always run ads. So I spend $2 a day, but then during holiday time, so come September, I'll beef that up. During specific times, I will increase. During slow times, summer months are sometimes slower for certain types of products. Then, you can decrease that. So kind of know what your seasons are and when to increase your ads. Okay, Google search. Let's talk about Google. Same thing. This is all the most current up-to-date information on Google. When Google is conducting a search on Etsy, and they're searching all the listings. So if somebody just goes to google.com and types in dog collar or blue dog collar, Google is searching the whole internet. The Etsy will come up. That's where this advertising money is being spent for our listings to come up in that Google search. So optimizing your listings for Etsy search is also going to help you with Google. So if you follow everything that we just talked about, good titles, good tags, good photos, good short description, that's going to help you on Google. These are the things that Google scans in their algorithm. What is our title and tags? What's the categories and attributes, if we have any? The listing description. Okay, so Etsy search did not search our descriptions. Google does. So Google is also scanning those descriptions and looking for those keywords. Google is also recognizing our shop sections. So if your shop, you have different sections. You sell mugs, T-shirts. If you do a lot of people do the Cricut and they do all those customized things, and you have those different sections. Google is scanning that through the algorithm. They're also looking at inbound links and your listing photography. Okay, so a little different than what Etsy is looking at. So with Google, you want to use strong keywords in your titles and tags. Don't use words or phrases that are irrelevant to your item. Okay? Don't try to, just because, when masks were popular and everybody was selling them, don't throw in the word mask at the end of your title or in your tags just so your item pops up. It's going to hurt you. Don't do that. Be thoughtful with your listing descriptions. Write original content. Keep your shop sections legible and specific. So if you break up your inventory to all those different sections, keep it super simple. I do recommend using shop sections. You're allowed to have a lot of them. I recommend breaking that up, especially if you sell a variety of stuff. Don't go open multiple Etsy shops. If You can have it all in one shop and just have different sections. Seek features. So getting other bloggers to share your product and share a link, getting other social media accounts to share your products. All those links are good, but don't buy links. It's just like when the whole fad came out where people were buying followers on Instagram, and it doesn't work. It doesn't help you. Do real, legitimate, organic um, features. Work with influencers and bloggers. Let's see. Avoid watermarks on your photos. Google doesn't like that. I know a lot of sellers do it because they don't want their products stolen, their photos stolen. I completely get it. Just be cautious. If you can, Google does not like that. Don't use an image with a cluttered background as your first listing image. So right there, this is a criteria for Google. They like those products with that white background. Okay, so here is an example for Google. So if you would go to Google and type in terrarium kit for adults, you're going to see how many of them come up as an Etsy shop. Majority of them. I think there was just 2 there that are not even on Etsy. So this is where all that Etsy advertising. Yes, somebody talked about marks on digital drawings for sale. Yeah, everybody does that. You pretty much have to. Okay, so there's a lot of really good questions. So I'm going to go into some of these questions and answer some of these questions. So if you have more questions, go ahead and ask them. I'm also going to put, if you want this presentation so you can have a copy for yourself, I'll put my email address again in the chat. I'm going to answer a couple questions, and the main takeaway from this class is just really going through, looking at your titles, looking at your tags, make sure you're using keywords and phrases. If you have an item that is not selling, getting clicks, getting favorites, it's time to revisit that item, because now it is just, the listing quality score is just going to be low. Let's see. How can we rank for a very searched keyword like personalized mug if there are 100,000 results? Yeah. How do you stand out when there are so many sellers selling that? So you got to really do a deep dive into what is your personalized mug. Is it for mom? Does it have a picture of a cactus on it? So use as many descriptive words as you can for a product that is like when all those wood signs too were so popular. You have to create your own kind of traffic to your Etsy shop as well. So the more traffic, if you're on social media and you're driving people to your site as well, and they're clicking and favoring it, that's going to help you, because Etsy is seeing, oh, wow, all this increased traffic is coming to this item and it's getting favorites and it's getting likes. That's going to help you. But try to be as descriptive as you can with those keywords. After a listing renews several times, do you deactivate it and relist it with new photos and titles? If it's not selling, yeah. If it keeps renewing but it's not selling and you're just waiting out the renewal process, then yeah, it's definitely time. You don't have to deactivate it. Or maybe you want to just deactivate it and start all over. Don't renew it again. Relist new photos, new titles, everything. So yeah, if your item hasn't gotten, sold in, 90 days and you could tell it's not getting any likes or favorites, it's time to revisit. I read that it's a good idea to renew items often. Yeah, just to have your items set to whenever the renewal process is. Um, and it's good to be adding new items to your shop. So every time you're adding new listings, that's an increase. And you're getting that little boost. Remember to take your item and you can list it in other categories, and duplicate it, and try that. If I only have one item selling, is it worth it to pay for an Etsy ad campaign? I always say it's with Etsy ad campaigns, you can focus where you want that campaign to go. So if you have, doesn't matter if you have 20 items, 10 items, you can kind of pick which listings are getting promoted. But if you have one item that is selling and it's selling good, throw $1 a day on it and see what happens after 30 days. Maybe your sales will even increase more. If it's already selling well, let's sell more of it. Why not? It can't hurt. Let's see. Yeah, so somebody talking about opening up a second shop. So yeah, there are some people that do two shops, especially if your items are completely different, and especially if you're selling items that maybe are mature, for that adult only, and you don't want to offend somebody. There are a lot of people out there who have two shops. It's completely up to you and how much you want to manage. So a lot of people do it. But you can too, if your items are close enough, you can still all keep it in one. Do you rotate out your seasonal? Yeah, absolutely. How many items in your shop do you promote for $2 a day? My $2 a day, I'm promoting 10 listings. I think I have 80 right now, and there's only 10 that I'm promoting. It's my top 10 that sell really good. Those are the ones that are part of the ad. Can tags be changed as a bulk or individual? Can tags be changed as a bulk? No, I don't think you can do that. That's a really good question. I've never actually tried that. I know when you could do like a quick edit and you can go in and edit some things quickly, through your dashboard view. I don't think you can edit your tags as a bulk, though. I've never tried that one. Sorry, I can't answer. I go into individually do it. I'm sorry, I can't answer that. Okay, let's see. Somebody asked, how many copies of a listing are enough to test photos and tags? I think the most I've ever copied a listing is 3 times. Trying out different photos, different keywords, different categories was the most I've ever done. And there's some people I've seen that sell, I buy the socks off of this one Etsy shop, and knee-high socks at wintertime, and I could tell that she has the same sock like listed 50 different times with different titles. And once you kind of, that's completely up to you. Just make sure that when you duplicate a listing, you have the inventory. So if duplication number 1 sells and duplicate number 2 sells in the same day, do you have the inventory to cover? When your shop was new, did you see an advantage to putting more towards Etsy ads per day than a normal established store? Yeah, I think it goes both ways. So when I was new, I was really just trying to figure out what people were buying and doing some ads just to get some views, to get some traffic going to it. Now that it's more established, I actually spend more money. I wish it could be as cheap as in the early days, but now I'm spending more between Etsy ads and Pinterest ads to keep that establishment and to keep that going. This is my full-time job though, so I need that full-time income coming up. So I'm spending a lot more on advertising than in the beginning. Try it. There is a whole class about Etsy ads. We really go into how to run an ad, what listings to suggest. Remember, if once you start an Etsy ad, you have to keep it for at least 30 days. Okay, before you can change up that ad. Is the about section just 5 photos and a video? I can't find where you type in text. Yes, that's part of the section where you put in pictures, but there is, keep looking. It should be at the bottom where you also want to type in your story. You could type in your website and more information about you. If you can't find that, reach out and let me know. Somebody saw in here, can they hire me to review their listing or something like that? Thank you. That means so much, but no, I will look at your review. Just as a courtesy, if you want to send me a listing to look at, I'll gladly look at it. But no, I don't charge to help out Etsy sellers. This is just something I do as a giving back. I saw something about a size too. If size is important to the product, should a number start the listing title? Oh, like 24 inches driftwood. So I've seen this kind of both ways where I actually buy driftwood on Etsy from another seller. I've seen people that will start off with, a number in the listing title, or they put it in somewhere like the middle of the title. You could try it and see, but that's where the attributes come in to place, where you could put in the dimensions and then put that in the tag. If you have a piece of driftwood or something that is large like that, that's 24 inches, use a couple keywords, like large driftwood decor piece. But yeah, definitely put in the dimensions within that title. How do you find trending keywords for holidays? Go to Pinterest. That's a really good place. Once you create a business Pinterest account, they send out a couple reports a year on trending keywords, phrases, stuff like that. And Etsy's constantly sending us out trend reports of what is trending, what colors, what keywords. Go back to your seller handbook and bring up the latest trend report. They list all of those per category. There will be a class coming out at Etsy U soon that is going to be all about trends for each category and what is trending. And we go over keywords. But go to your handbook and look for the latest trend report. Also follow Etsy Success on Instagram and Facebook. They share constant good tips of what is trending. Okay. Thank you guys for coming on this live. Yeah, this is something new for Etsy Live, doing this YouTube Live. So it's new for us too. Etsy instructors kind of figuring this out. Keep watching under Etsy community, the seller events, because Etsy University actually just started for 2022. All of us instructors just completed our training, so we just now started. So that we go from like April all the way through December. So there's going to be lots of classes throughout the whole year. Subscribe to my channel, other sellers' channels, and you could see when we have new classes coming up. And even if you can't join live, you can have access to. There's lots of really good workshops coming up throughout the year. Um, let's see. I love Dark Shadows. I love your comment. Um, don't hesitate to reach out to. You guys can reach out to my Etsy shop. Let's see. Any tips for brand new sellers? Your photos, make sure that your photos are really good. Um, Focus on quality over quantity. If you don't have a lot of listings, even if you just have 5 listings, make them really good quality. Put the time and the effort towards the photos, your listing titles, your tags. Really spend the time like that. And then grow your shop, based on what you see. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. A lot of people use Marmalade. I never have. It may be something good to try. I kind of take the secret shopper mentality. I do a lot of research online, and see what's working and what's not working. A lot on Pinterest too. I sell on a lot of different websites, so I'm on the Amazon and I'm on Wayfair. So I can kind of see what's selling across all boards and kind of get my key phrases that way. I spend all my energy towards Etsy. It's where my focus is, all my profits. I do not like some of those other websites. I have a really hard time. It's very hard. Etsy is so easy, to manage. But yeah, you can definitely try Marmalade and give it a try. Oh, wow. Somebody says that they saw where you're supposed to edit your listings at least one every day. So Etsy sees you're active. Is that true? I would not. I do not believe that is true. I've never heard that. I've been working with the Etsy staff for 4 years now, and they've been very clear on what works and what doesn't and what they recommend. And I've never heard to update one listing every day. I would not do that. I would just spend that time, on social media and growing your shop and your awareness, driving traffic, instead of trying to edit a listing a day. Is your ad your story? Okay. Okay, let's see. When selling a product with different size, is it okay to keep that section blank? Yeah. Like you do not have to use attributes, in size. If it's not that exact little size, yeah, just don't use it, keep it blank, and then create your own oh my, where then the person can then select, what size within your listing that they want to buy. If you're selling multiple sizes. Absolutely. Oh, let's see. Focus more on marketing or live events like pop-up stores. Um, Good question for in Europe. Do I know of any plans if Etsy will focus on more marketing or live events? That's a really good question. I know that they're expanding Etsy University more and trying to grow. I will actually pose your question and to the Etsy U staff and see if they have anything, because that's a good question. There's been a lot of people internationally who have been on these Etsy U classes lately. Okay, can you confirm that you don't need your tags and titles to match exact? Have heard from many people that they should. No, they do not have to match. This really goes back to be cautious what you hear, um, especially in some of those Facebook groups. There's so much, everybody's different opinions of what's worked for them, what's not. Stick to what Etsy is telling you that they recommend. Um, within that handbook, when I send you these presentations, stick to what they say works and not what 50 other million people say. I stopped going to a lot of those Facebook Etsy groups because it was negative. They all had different opinions. You do not have to have your tags and your titles to exact match. They should not, because you're just wasting space. You want your tags, I mean, a little bit's going to repeat, but not all 13 of them. That's the spot where you can use keywords and phrases that you couldn't fit in your title. Okay, that you're trying to capture buyers from other ways. So no, you're wasting your effort by having them match. There's a lot that has changed. Yeah, I know. Even a couple of years ago, it was Etsy's policy that you couldn't duplicate listings. They didn't want listings duplicated. That was a big policy. So a lot has changed. So yes, you can duplicate listings. Yeah, you don't want them to match. I know it's sometimes hard to keep up with all the changes. And that's why these classes are kind of fun, because I see a lot of you are like talking to each other and interacting, which is great. Yeah. Example on the about shop feature. Do you have an example? So I like this one question. Do you know if searching Etsy in incognito mode is a good way to see how you rank? We've all done it, right? We all want to see. So because I have the Etsy Sell app on here and I have the Etsy Buy app because I buy on Etsy. Well, if I go on the Etsy Buy app and I'm typing in my item, Etsy knows it's me. I'm logged in. It's not going to show me my items, right away. So I will go on like my husband's phone or his laptop and search. It's kind of cool when you do that, because then I can actually see my shop in a different view, and it tells me like this item is in 5 people's shopping carts. So I can kind of see like, oh, this item, like it's in people's shopping carts. People want to buy this. So yeah, I've done that before, by going on, my husband's or somebody else's phone and looking up. But don't panic when you try to go on your own phone or your own desktop and look for your item. It's not going to come up. Etsy knows that it's us. Where do you see someone's about page on their site? So once you go to somebody's shop, once you click on their shop name and it brings up their shop, when you scroll all the way to the bottom, it will show it, or at the top, there is something that it's a menu that says about. You probably can't see it. You can go to items, review, or about, and it tells you more about that shop. So yeah, scroll all the way down or look at the top. There's a menu at the very top. Let's see. How long once you start a new store and do ads and title and tags, can you expect your views increase? This is really, it all depends on the item. If your item is one that is something that sells often, but you should start to see some views, I would look at the first 30 days and really see, do you have views? Um, has it increased? What's going on? If you haven't really had any action in that 30-day period, then kind of revisit it. Remember, you're not just going to post something and it's automatically going to get started hundreds of views and sells. It may take some time. So be patient. Um, as it goes, and all depends how the market is doing, what items are popular, what are not, with the different seasons and everything. Okay, let's see. So let's see. Somebody said like a meet and greet summer event. Go to Etsy community. So under the Etsy community page, you can search in for different communities. So I've gone in and I've searched for communities in Ohio. So these are Etsy shops that have started community pages within Etsy. It's kind of like its own little Facebook group. Then some of these communities on Etsy are really involved and they do meet. So you may be able to find a group of Etsy sellers that under the Etsy community page, do some searching and see what you find. You may be surprised that there may be already a community that meets locally. Somebody had asked. Let's see. Is it normal to see SEO traffic low when you are new? Yeah. Absolutely. Your shop is just kind of, um, you know, getting that quality score listed. Yeah, it's going to take time to grow. Can you tell us how was your journey with Etsy when you first started? So my first journey with Etsy in 2017 was first time ever selling online. I did little stuff on eBay, stuff I picked up and tried to resold. But I was doing my business locally at craft shows and other stuff, and I wanted to take it online. So I started. It was, I think my first year I had 50 orders. It was not, this big thing, but I learned about my customers and what people liked and what they didn't like. Took a lot of time in developing products, testing things out, buying competitive products, seeing how theirs was and how I can make it different. Spent a lot of time social media. I started working with influencers, brand reps, sending them products, asking them to share. My first couple years of growing my Etsy business was just growing the awareness about my company and my business. And then it started to grow. I started to figure out what was selling, what people liked, put more focus into learning Etsy and the keywords and the tags and the titles. And then, I would say for the last 3 to 4 years, it's been, my full-time thing, just growing. And so it starts out small. It really does. Don't give up. Do not give up. Just keep going at it. Keep plugging along. Let's see. Let's see. A lot of people are asking about a tool like eRank for SEO with Etsy. Honestly, I've never used it, so I can't talk about that. I just use the Etsy stats and just analyze that way. Let's see. Just curious. Uh, Gary, I go through about 600 a week. If that answers your question. Feels like punishment for nothing. I'm seeing some questions about payment account reserve has been placed on your page. Um, I'm not quite sure what you guys are talking about. Just make sure that your so I have mine set to just pay out once a week every Monday. So all my fees are just taken out before I actually get that payment. So I'm not sure what you guys, I mean, for that, just make sure that, yeah, you are um, paying all your fees. You don't want that to build because they can. Do you recommend we get a coach amendment if we want to take our shop sales to the next level? Just be careful. There's a lot of people out there that say, help you grow your sales, spend all this money. Um, just just be very cautious. Keep taking these classes, keep reviewing your listings. You can send me an email and I'll take a look at um, your listing or your shop and give you a couple quick tips, but just be very cautious. Too, some people have. It's completely up to you. All right, I'm gonna look into what you guys are talking about for payment reserve and holding the funds. I have not heard of that. Um, yeah, if your tax information is not up to date in your settings, in your, excuse me, in your payment settings, if that is not up to date, by law, it has to, your social security or your tax ID number, your EIN number, if you have one of those, that's all got to be up to date. You will get a 1099 um, if you have um, $20,000 more in orders and 200 sales. There's a lot of new tax laws coming though this year, so you want to keep your information just accurate um, because there's a lot changing with all online orders and sales tax. Okay. Oh, a good question came up. Can you please explain what is Etsy Plus $10 a month? So that came out years ago. Um, this Etsy Plus program where you got some benefits to your dashboard and some things that you can do. Um, I'm surprised that's even still around. There's not a lot of people that I've talked with that still use it. There are some little pokes to it. It does not, though, help your listings get promoted or get seen more. Um, so yeah, there. Um, look more into that. So yeah, a lot of people have commented there are some things changing with the 1099 threshold and what we have to report. So save everything. Start to track your mileage every time you go to the post office. Every little thing you do, save all that so you have as many write-offs as you can come tax time, because every little thing you do is an expense um, to write off for your taxes. So I hope you guys have been really chatty on here. This is awesome. I know those that come back and watch this at a later time, you're not going to see these comments that have been coming up. So just bear with us. I hope you enjoyed this last little Q&A session. Um, I hope you all enjoyed this. Please come back to Etsy U and check out other classes that are being offered throughout the year. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you want this presentation and you want some of those worksheets, feel free to email me contact me through my Etsy shop, send me your email, and I will send you all this information. If you have a success story, send me a message. Let's do a happy dance together. I don't care if it's your first sale or your 20th sale. I love to meet other Etsy sellers, um, help each other out, celebrate success, and be there for each other when needed and staying positive. So thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody who joined. Best of luck. Go get those cha-chings. Okay. Bye, guys.